First of all, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate your time. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how long you've been in the real estate business for?
So mortgage business, I
Yeah.
started in 2005, and it's Wilson Enriquez with Ideal Lending Solutions from Jupiter, Florida. Our main headquarters is West Palm, and we have branches throughout the country, but I am in the Jupiter office. I live in Jupiter. And yeah, so been in it, got licensed in 2005, went through essentially the start of the business was when everybody was just going crazy, right? And then
Yeah.
in 2007, something happened in my previous company where I figured, let me just go out and do this on my own. I was pretty much running most of the stuff anyway. They had promoted me to operations manager a year after I was licensed. Everyone was coming to me for questions. And again, something happened, and I said, I think I can just kind of go do this on my own anyway. So in 2007, I started Ideal Lending Solutions, and everyone thought I was crazy. That's when everything was just kind of hitting the fan, so to speak, going downhill, and they thought it was nuts. But to me, when and here we are, what, 17, 18 years later, however long, and doing well. I love the business, passionate about the business. As you know, being in real estate or mortgage kind of have stressful moments,
For sure.
but every day can be different, and even though you have one of those days where you're just like, oh gosh, I need to find something else. You wake up in the morning the next day and you freaking clap your hands and just go right at it again, get ready for the day.
Yeah.
It's fun.
No, it's amazing. So, how many webinars have you done so far?
Just the one
Okay.
last week. And then we have the other one scheduled for this coming Tuesday.
Why don't you tell us about how the first one went?
I think it went well. Listen, first and foremost, Mo and Ali, amazing guys.
Yeah.
Right? Your team over there is just phenomenal. The way you got this set up is unbelievably wonderful. Like the hand holding approach and just showing someone how to use even the back end technical stuff that's required to set this up. I mean, these guys make it super easy. Unfortunately, we were familiar with a lot of it already, but I can only imagine what it's like for a newbie kind of trying to go through this process. And those guys have just made it super simple. So not to mention the support, right, that they offer you from day one
Yeah.
and all along the way. So the first webinar we did, and I've done keynote speeches and webinars and presentations often. So I think it went well. I think we got some great feedback from Mo, Ali, and a lot of the participants. Definitely a lot of great feedback as to what to do for the next one. And I'm looking forward to just kind of keep tweaking as we go along and figuring out ways to continue to bring value on the webinars to just build a big just following of local participants.
I love it. So how many people do you remember how many people registered and how many people showed up? What those numbers look like?
Yeah, there were 100 and I want to say 19, 120 registrants.
Okay.
And then at one point of the webinar, we had 82 participants.
Oh, wow. Nice. That's a really big one.
And I think consistently averaged the mid 60s.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, at the high was 82 participants.
Okay. How many appointments were you able to get?
Oh, good question. The first, I'm gonna look it up right now too while we're talking. But out of the first, the go around, right, immediately after the webinar, there was about 6.
Okay.
And then in the sequence that you guys created, which is awesome, then of course a lot more started coming in. So let me check to see how many opportunities. 15 appointments.
Nice. Okay, that's really good. Wow.
Yeah, 15 appointments. And then from there, we're just kind of seeing who needs more help and who we can continue to go through, who qualifies, who doesn't. But yeah, 15 appointments, and let's see what this next one does.
That's great. So I guess overall, with your experience and everything, how would you rate it out of 10? Your experience with the team and with basically your first webinar that you've done?
Oh, if I could get higher than a 10, man, no doubt. You guys have done awesome. We have multiple branches and approximately 50 loan officers throughout the country. And I'm always looking for ways. I don't personally originate, but my essentially goal is to find ways to help them build their business, right? The loan officer to me is my client in the same way the consumer would be our client. So I'm always trying to find different tactics, strategies, tips, whatever it may be to help them build their business through referrals, and then of course through a consumer direct approach by trying to get to the client, to help the client first. So I've done a lot of programs, and this one was by far, in my opinion, just the most well laid out, thought out, and then executed process.
Nice.
Without necessarily the like we'll do everything for you approach and pay me a bunch of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just, hey, let's do this together. And I'm going to show you how you can then just take it and run with it and make it your own.
Yeah.
I loved it. So 10 for sure, 10 plus.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really, really good to hear. So, I appreciate it. I know you're busy. Thanks so much for your time, and I'm glad that everything worked well. We're pretty ecstatic. Our customer service rating is huge, and our success rate for our clients when they've done one is we're at 100%. So it's really, really, really well, and we're glad that it worked for you. We're super excited to have you on board.
Yeah, man. Well, congratulations to you guys on how you've put this together. Really, seriously, very impressive. And I wanted to ask you, I know that you, besides the first time homebuyer webinar, or at least the homebuyer webinar, you got a few other kind
Yeah.
of similar like projects in the works, right? For maybe seller leads or whatnot. Do you mind if I ask you what's down the road?
Yeah, so we have the seller ones. It's honestly, it's a pretty tough code to crack right now. It's pretty expensive. They're not great, but I do. There's some people talking about doing ones for like I think it's veterans and like lending for that. And there's some that we're doing for. I do it for investors. So I do
Okay.
an investors one that's been really successful. I've probably sold 15 or 20 units from Zooms to investors. So it's kind of crazy, what the world's come to. So yeah, we're up and our clients kind of ask us, hey, can you help us with this? And if there's a chance and opportunity we can, then we'll try different things if it makes sense. So we're really open to anything. The sellers one's honestly, truthfully, the biggest one to crack. We've been trying YouTube, a bunch of different things. It's tough. The leads are extremely expensive. The conversion rates aren't but we still have our team working on it to try to make sure, because we don't want to bring out something that isn't super successful just because we have a product that's extremely successful. We'd like it to still be, very, very successful for us to be able to promote it to others.
Totally makes sense. Looking forward to seeing how that one works. And I get it, right? Today's market, it's unreal. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
we're looking at refis too, actually, for lenders. So we just came up with that. We're starting, probably take a couple months to see if we can crack that code, but we're trying in different cities, beta testing refis to see if we can get those for our lending clients as well.
All right, wonderful. Yeah, I look forward to all those programs, man. I'm on board. I'm a fan. You sold me. So whatever you guys put out, chances are I'll do it. I'll get it.
Okay, well, that sounds awesome. Well, I appreciate your time. You enjoy the rest of your week, and thanks so much.
Thanks, brother. Have a good one.
You too.